I'd like to share 3 ideas, 2 on stress prevention and 1 on coping with stress that have been helpful to me. As I do this, I want to emphasize that I'm not preaching at you or telling you to do anything. I'm having fully enough trouble trying to get myself to do the things that I know I need to do without telling you what to do. So these are some personal experiences that I'm going to be sharing with you. So here we go. I'm told that the first step in an alcoholic's recovery is for that person to admit that he or she is in fact an alcoholic, is addicted to alcohol. And the second step is for that person to understand the true long-term damage that alcohol is doing to their mind and to their body. Well, the first step in my stress control program was to understand that I was overstressed, and secondly, the long-term damage that excess stress was doing to my mind and to my body. Rushing is the #1 cause of stress-related illness and executive burnout. And overscheduling, in my view, is at the heart of it. My evenings, my weekends, even my vacations, a total farce. Because you see, I was so preoccupied, even when I was away from the office. So preoccupied, wondering about all of those things that were waiting for me to do, all of those things I was behind on, that I couldn't savor and enjoy and fully live and fully love those occasions. Isn't it ironic that the very things that I was working so hard for, the family times, the loving times, the caring times, were being spoiled by that preoccupation which I had with me 24 hours a day. You know, we've been doing budgets in our office for about 22 or 3 years, financial budgets. We know we can't spend more than we take in. If we do, we have to borrow. If we borrow, we have to pay back with interest. Simple, simple. But you know what I didn't realize? Time is more finite than money. 365 days in a year, no borrowing, no borrowing. And yet, I had no time budget. And now when the phone rings, I know when to say no. I know to say no when that particular area of my time budget is full. And you know what? When I explain to people that I am on a budget, it seems to be an acceptable reason for me to say no. But you know, lived on that time budget for quite some time, but I cheated on it. I cheated on it. Let me share with you how I cheated. I mentioned that one of the things in the time budget are vacations. So Betty and I were going away with Truman and Katie Purdy, friends of ours, on a trip. Just the 4 of us, special. First morning out, Truman and I played golf. Had a good round, came in, we sat down for lunch. I excused myself. Came back, Truman said, "Where'd you go?" Oh, I said, "I had to make a telephone call." He said, "Who'd you call?" Well, I said, "Call the office." He said, "Why'd you call the office?" Well, I said, "They might have a lot of problems over there." He said, "What'd you find out?" I said, "They got a lot of problems over there." He said, "What'd you do about them?" I said, "They'll have to wait till I get back." He said, "Why'd you call?" Why did I call? And he shared something with me. He said, Tom, I never call my office anymore. They always know where to reach me. He said, in the beginning when I started this, they'd call. But you know what's happened now? They never call anymore, or almost never call anymore. And two interesting benefits have resulted. First of all, he said, Katie and I have super vacations. And I truly get my business out of my mind and savor and enjoy. And second, the people in my organization have grown by leaps and bounds as they've made their own decisions. Sure, they made some mistakes, but they've grown. They've grown. Well, he made me promise him that day that I would never again call my office when I was on vacation. And I've kept that promise. The look of contentment that I see on Betty's face when we leave on a vacation now is all the reward I'll ever need.